The United Nations Under-Secretary General for Peacekeeping Operations, Jean Pierre Lacroix, came to Bangladesh as part of his visit to the South Asia region. During his visit to Bangladesh, in a press briefing, Lacroix said Bangladesh is one of the largest peacekeeping sending countries in the world. He said, "We have to work together to address today's challenges to peacekeeping. Today's peacekeeping is very different from yesterday's peacekeeping. It's more dangerous, it's more challenging and more demanding as well. All of us need to address this new reality, but I'm confident that Bangladesh will manage to carry out these adjustments." Replying to a question about the recent spike in the number of killing of peacekeepers and subsequent safety measures, Lacroix said the safety and the security of peacekeepers were the number one priority, and the UN had launched an action plan to reduce the number of fatalities among peacekeepers. He added that we appreciate the all-female police units, we appreciate the female military officers, helicopter pilots, staff officers and military observers. It's a very valuable contribution. Similarly, we appreciate the contribution in training officers in foreign languages, particularly in French.
We were looking forward to this visit because Bangladesh is indeed one of the strongest supporters and one of the strongest partners of peacekeeping operation around the world. So our message to Bangladesh is a message of gratitude, it's a message of respect, and it's a message of friendship. It's a message of gratitude because Bangladesh is the second largest troop contributing countries to UN peace operation, with close to 7,000 troops engaged and a very high number of police officers, more than 800 police officers engaged in our UN operation. So we are very grateful for that. We are very grateful for this long-standing service and this long-standing support in the service of peace and to the benefit of the population that we serve in our operation. It's also a message of respect because the way in which Bangladeshi peacekeepers are serving is worthy of the highest respect. The quality of the service of Bangladeshi peacekeepers is outstanding, and we want for this to express our respect, but we have a particular feeling of respect to the 144 Bangladeshi peacekeepers who lost their lives serving peace with the UN. And today I have a special thought for them, but I have a special thought for their families, and I would like also to express my very sincere sympathy and appreciation to the families of the tens of thousands of Bangladeshi peacekeepers who are serving or who have been serving in UN peacekeeping operations. And finally, it's also a message of friendship, because our cooperation has reached such a degree of fluidity, of trust, that we can safely call it friendship. Indeed, our relation with Bangladesh is not only one of trust, but also one where we really work together in trying to improve peacekeeping operation. And I'm very grateful to your country that it's making so many efforts to increase the number of women in peacekeeping, which is so important to increase the effectiveness of peacekeeping. There is a whole female police unit serving in our peacekeeping operation from Bangladesh, and we are also very grateful for the efforts that Bangladesh is doing in training its soldiers and its police officers and in foreign languages, which is also very important because as a peacekeeper you interact with the population, and it's much better if you can speak in the language of the host country, and Bangladesh is making a tremendous effort at that. And we're also very appreciative of the fact that Bangladesh peacekeepers are really outstanding when it comes to conduct and discipline and zero tolerance. As you know, the sexual exploitation and abuse is absolutely unacceptable everywhere, but particularly in peacekeeping, and this is why the Secretary General of the UN has a strong zero tolerance policy, and we really appreciate that Bangladesh is so committed to implementing this zero tolerance policy.
Replying to another question about increasing the number of Bangladeshi peacekeepers in UN missions, he said they were going through times when the number of peacekeepers was decreasing, as the UN had successfully closed a few operations in Ivory Coast and Liberia and had been downsizing in some others. On the other hand, there are potentials to create operations for new deployments from Bangladesh as the biggest peacekeeping operations.
We do have new needs, and sometimes the same mission has to be reconfigured or transformed in order to better implement its mandate under new circumstances. And this creates opportunity for the presence of or additional presence of Bangladeshi peacekeepers. So I can tell you that we are working very closely with Bangladeshi colleagues to explore these new opportunities. Regarding performance, well, I have to say that, as I said, the performance of the police officers and the military officers and the soldiers of Bangladesh is outstanding, and I think this is why we resort so often to you to enable our peacekeeping mission to fulfill their mandates.
The purpose of Lacroix's visit was to thank the four countries for their service and sacrifice in the name of peace, as well as to update on ongoing reforms in the UN peace and security reform area, and especially the UN Secretary General's action for peacekeeping initiative to make peacekeeping more focused, safer and stronger. Earlier the UN Under Secretary General for Peacekeeping Operations, Jean Pierre Lacroix, met with Bangladesh Foreign Affairs Minister A.H. Mahmoud Ali and Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Humayun Kabir, today's World News 24.